everything. So start doing it.
Hey guys, good afternoon. This is your coach, Coach Johnson. Today we have a very special guest who is very encouraging, great leader to us, and we all appreciate everything he does. I guess you all know who we are calling. It is Mr. Yes, let's give a round of applause for Mr. Ingram. Good afternoon, Mr. Ingram, and welcome.
What's happening?
First and foremost, we want to thank you for allowing us to have this podcast, because without you, we wouldn't have been able to do this.
Well, I appreciate you actually doing it. I mean, this is a great way for people to have conversation, talk about important topics and issues, and just build that leadership among some of our students, right?
And we all know you're a great leader, so this is why we do the things that we do. Some of the kids will have questions for you today, so we'll be asking you some questions, and then we have something in store for you today.
Oh,
Okay. All right. Who got your first question?
Me.
Let's go.
Me. How do you be a principal and still have that strict principal, but be the cool principal at the same time? And how do you balance it without making your students think you're lame or whatever? Or
yeah, well, that's a really good question. And I think part of it is you have to really just build relationships first, right? When you start having those conversations with students, kind of like I did with most of you here in the beginning, just talking and just getting to know the person, it makes it easier to discipline when it's time to have those conversations. So if not necessarily because I don't want necessarily want people to like me. I want them to appreciate and respect me. Like is good too, but if they appreciate and respect me, then I think then when things happen, they understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. And of course, you want to have fun. Nobody wants to come to school and be bored all the time, and nobody wants that principal who kind of just sits there and doesn't say anything, is not active. It's just not fun. And you're here to have fun. You're here to learn, and I just want to make sure I'm able to do that. Good question. I appreciate that.
I got one.
Thanks.
What are some of the biggest obstacles you overcame from the beginning of the school year?
Good question.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Biggest obstacles. I think some of the larger obstacles, biggest obstacles that I've had is just really with the ninth grade. When the ninth graders transition from from middle school to high school, just getting them to understand what the expectations are of high school and getting them to buy into the idea that I have to do this, and explaining credits and all of these things that you didn't necessarily have to know from grades K to 8, really. That's kind of one of the most difficult things you have to do in the beginning. And then as the year goes on, people get a little more excited. They're not as, laid back. There's anxiety to get out of school. There's anxiety amongst seniors. There's anxiety amongst juniors that are getting ready to become seniors, and people just get, sometimes they forget what those rules and expectations are. So you got to kind of just pull them back in. But overall, it's pretty stable most of the time, but it can get exciting from time to time. As you know, all of you know, just coming in here every day is different. That's one of the best things about it. Nothing's the same.
Right.
All right, so my question will be, what's one of the biggest challenges you have with the teachers?
Right. Right. That's a good one.
That question. The biggest, I don't know that there's a problem necessarily with teachers. I think one of the challenges is, I wouldn't even say it's a challenge, because overall I think that everybody's here for the right reason. I think everybody wants to be here and do a great job. The challenge is getting them to believe sometimes that they're able to do it, because sometimes it's hard in the classrooms. Sometimes some classrooms are a little bit calmer than others. Sometimes you have a mix of students that don't necessarily get along. So, you're trying to be a teacher, you're trying to manage the classroom, you're trying to do all of these things at once, and it becomes a little difficult. And then sometimes people are having some issues at home, and the teacher has to address those. So you're really not just a teacher, you're really just taking care of the classroom and taking care of the individual or the adult or the young adult. And I think that becomes a challenge. So just getting them to believe that you can do it, even on those tough days, I think that's probably one of the biggest challenges.
And the thing that you said, building relationships is good. So when the teachers understand what the kids are going through, it impacts the kids and the teacher at the same time.
You gotta have that empathy. You have to understand them. Not that you excuse them from doing what they need to do.
Right.
If you understand, you're able to make those adjustments and do what you need to do. Absolutely.
From your first year being a principal to now, do you feel like you got better in your leadership role? I know you've been through a lot of obstacles, like they said. So some people will try to fall down from the principal, thing. But have you ever thought about stepping down? It didn't become overwhelming?
Overwhelming. I love it. I mean, and everybody asked me the question. They said, how long you going to do this? I say, I'm going to do it till I don't, right? So essentially what that means for me is that as long as I'm having fun and enjoying it, I'm going to continue to do it. Kind of like some of you are athletes and cheerleaders and parts of teams and things like that. You know, that athlete or that person continues to do it until it no longer becomes fun or it becomes, it's never too difficult for them. It's just not what they want to do anymore. It's not the passion. It's not inside them. It's not in their heart. So for me, I've always wanted to do this. This is something that excites me, being able to stand in front of you guys and have conversations with you guys every day and just making sure you get what you need to be successful adults later down the road. As long as I'm able to do that, I'll keep doing it. But the first part of your question was, you know, from now until from the beginning of being a principal until now, has it become easier or has it become, or have I become a better leader? I don't know. That's a good question. I think that it gets easier for me because I know some of the things that have happened before that prepare me for whatever comes. I hope that I'm getting better because you learn. I learn from all of you. Things that you do, things that you say, things that you guys are experiencing, all of those things kind of play into me being able to manage more effectively, to be able to address the needs more effectively and just do what I need to do for all of you, which is why we're all here.
On the adult and being one of your employees aspects, I think that you are actually a great principal. Like, you know, you have your days where you're serious and you have your days where you're laid back and everything's like that, but you always make sure everything is on tap. Right. And one thing about that is a lot of people can't do that. Like, when I came into this building, I felt like, whoa, this principal he going in the lunchroom, he in the hallways, he's not always sitting at his desk. You are active in these kids' lives. And that, I love that because I'm active in kids' lives. So when I see other people doing that, that means a lot. It means a lot to me, and I'm sure a lot of the other employees would probably agree that you are a great principal.
Yeah, and I think I'm glad that you said that, because that's one of the things I think that some principals and some adult leaders who are responsible for adults that they fail to do. You have to be visible, right? You have to be active in order to gain that relationship, to gain that respect, because I don't think I could say some of the things, which I won't say here, but some of the conversations that we've had, you know, in private, you know, if we didn't have that relationship and if you didn't see me out and about, you wouldn't know me, you wouldn't respect me, and you wouldn't respond to me. People say, oh, they only respond to you because you're the principal. Well, no, that's not true. Because it's about that relationship. Because you can see some people who give directives or orders and anywhere, in any place in life, and people don't respond because they don't respect you or they don't know you.
And you also, though, you speak to people, you don't speak at them. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. That plays a great big role in a lot of conversations with people, and that's how you build your relationships with people. So.
Appreciate that.
My question isn't as extravagant. How long have you been principal?
For Glasgow?
Yeah, you've been principal other places?
Oh, yeah. Oh, so I can give you that. Yeah, how about that background for people who don't know? So I actually started teaching here in Glasgow first. My first teaching job was here at Glasgow High School some time ago. We won't get into the age and the numbers, but it was a while ago. And then from there I went to Kirk. So I was a teacher at Kirk Middle School for a number of years, and I became the dean at Kirk, then the assistant principal at Kirk. And then from Kirk, I went to become the principal of Douglas, which is one of the alternative schools in the city of Wilmington. And then from Douglas, I became the principal at Bancroft for 8 years, which is on the east side of Wilmington. And then I came back to Glasgow, and this is now year 5. So I have been, in total, I think it's 17 years as a...
Wow. Okay. That's awesome. My question, Lorraine.
What does a successful school year looks like to you?
Successful school year.
Oh, good question.
Successful. Number one, everybody that's supposed to graduates.
Right.
You know, that's my number one goal, is that everybody that gets in here, comes in 4 years, does what they need to do and get out. But overall, just as long as everybody's learning, everybody's having fun, and everybody's enjoying the experience, I think that's what makes a good year for me. Good question, though.
I have a question. A leader, to me, plays a leader role even when people aren't looking or people aren't around. So what's your definition of a leader? And what's a leader to you?
A leader, I think, to me, number one, you don't announce that you're a leader, right? People kind of just know who's in charge. You can go into a place and kind of know who's in charge just by not even so much what they say. It's probably kind of the way things that are happening, the way things get done. So a leader, to your point, is somebody who does a lot of work behind the scenes, as somebody who's doing things that people don't know about, as somebody, as Miss Johnson shared before, somebody who's doing those things behind the scenes, somebody who's doing those things that other people won't do, and just making themselves available. But at the same time, you're giving good advice, direction, and you're empowering other people to do great things also. I think that's what makes a good leader.
I was going to ask, with being a leader and all that, do you see anything you want to add to the future of Glasgow once we leave?
Anything then? Good question. Good question. So we're looking to add some additional courses because some people have asked about additional technology type courses. Some people have asked for some law type courses. So we're looking to add a variety of things available for you to become involved in. I think one of the other things that we can do or add or just do more of is just having a little bit more fun. I don't think that we've done enough pep rallies. We haven't done enough things that really get people excited about coming to school. And that wasn't because we didn't want to. It's just the way the timing played out. And then you have absences and you have some people. There's a lot of things that play into to making things happen and making them work. But I think that school, number one, should be for academics. You should learn. But at the same time, as I kind of talked about before, we have to do things that are fun to you. And part of that is things like this, having these podcasts where you're able to tell us and share with us, this is what we want to see happen. This is what we would like to do. And if we can do it, we'll go for it. And at the same time, if we can't, we should be able to explain to you why, not just say, we're not doing that. That doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, we can't do this because this is why. And I think if you guys have an understanding as to why we don't do these things, then I think you'll understand that better and respect that a little bit better.
It keeps them motivated.
Absolutely.
Keeps them motivated.
Gotta have fun.
Manon.
Sure. Oh, I got another question. I was about to ask, honestly, that. How I go bald?
We got a question today.
My question is, are you happy? Like, this makes you happy? Like, different age groups.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
That's a good question.
You have 14-year-olds in here. I don't know how you do it. To not me personally.
Yeah. So I've been at all age levels, right? So I've done the elementary, I've done the middle school, and I've done the high school. So people ask me, which grade level do you like the best? And I don't know if it's any of them that I like the best or make me happy. I think they all make me happy in different ways, because at the elementary school, you're really getting young people at an age where they're most impressionable, right? You can make the most difference, I think, in an elementary student from 5 to 12 or whatever their ages are until they get to middle school, because they're like sponges, right? You're like sponges when you're little. Whatever you say and do, they kind of respond to it.
Right.
Middle school's tough. I'm not going to tell you any lies. Middle school's tough is because those emotions are all over the place all the time. So when you guys were in middle school, I'm pretty sure one day you're happy, the next day you're not, and the next day you want to, do this, and the next day you don't want to respond. It's all over. But it's fun because every day is different. High school for me is exciting because, and it takes a lot of time, but there's so many things that you guys are involved in. There's sporting events, there's arts, there's music, there's debates, there's people who are traveling in competitions, there's people who are doing all of these things, and I get to be a part of that. So that kind of makes me happy and excited. And you can have more adult-like conversations because, particularly for seniors and juniors and seniors in particular, if you don't figure out what you need to do in these next couple of years, it can be very, very, very challenging for you. So me being able to give that ear or have that ear to listen and be able to share my experience or share what I think would help or be beneficial, I think is important too, because you're really making a difference. Because once you walk out that door on June 15th, in this case, because the 14th is when you graduate, there has to be a plan.
Right.
You have to know what's going to happen. You have to know where you're going. And it's our responsibility to be able to have those conversations to help guide it, not tell you what to do, but guide you in that right direction.
My next question was going to be, like growing up, did you always like, no, you're going to become a principal? You like work with kids in schools?
Yeah, pass the question.
That's a very good question. And I said before that I've always wanted, go ahead.
Drawn.
Right, what drove me to be a principal. So actually, I was in business first. I wasn't in education. So I was in, long time ago, probably your parents know or grandparents, whomever, may know, there was a bank called MBNA a long time ago. So I used to work for banking. Everybody was like, go into banking. They had all these great programs. You could make all of this money and whatever. So I went to school at the University of Delaware and I majored actually in business. So I worked at the bank for a couple of years and then I was like, I can't do this because it's the same thing over and over for me. Some people love it. Some people do great by it. So then what happened was one of the banks that I was working for after MBNA was called Associates Bank, and then JP Morgan before it became JP Morgan Chase. they relocated. So they gave me this package. It's called like a severance package. So they give you like money. If you don't want to go, they can just let you go. They give you this money and you can go do whatever you want. They have to kind of pay you because of their relocation. So what I did was I used that, just put it to the side. I went back over the summer. I worked a summer program actually at Gallagher. It was a summer program at Gallagher. There was a principal there at the time who said, you might actually do well with this. So I was like, all right. So I tried it and I went back in. And at that time, they were paying for you to go back to school and do all that. So I went back to school and then got my master's in education and kept going on and on and on. And that's probably when I decided that this is what I want to do. It was fun. It was exciting. I could relate to a lot of things that people were dealing with and going through. And it just was a natural fit, I guess, at that point.
Okay. You had a question?
So you do feel like this is your calling?
Great question. Yes, this is my purpose. I believe this is my calling, my purpose. This is what I'm supposed to do. And the way that you know that is just for you guys, just in general. I don't know if you guys have had these conversations before, but when you're doing something and you enjoy what you're doing and you're not tired or exhausted, meaning you're going to get tired. You can get physically tired just because it's a long day, but and you get up every day and you're excited to do it and you can do it without thinking about it, then you know you're doing the right thing. So yes, to answer your question, I feel like this is it. I think this is what I want to do until I don't.
So retirement.
Yeah.
When I had moved up here, Glasgow had a bad rep, but when you go into Glasgow, it's never what everybody make it seem.
It's not what it seems. It's not what it seems at all. Really.
When do you think the representation and how people look at the school, when do you think that's going to change?
I think it has started to change, to be quite honest with you. I think that you're right. People do have a bad vibe or a bad feeling or a bad perception. And when I first got here, I don't know if you've seen some of the shirts that some of the staff members wear now, but there's a shirt that says, your perception is not our reality. It's on the back of our Glasgow t-shirt. So I got those the first year that I was here because that's not what's happening here, right? Glasgow is just like any other high school in the entire United States of America. They have their issues from time to time. Students are going to get in physical altercations. There's going to be kids who do things they're not supposed to do, but that doesn't make you a horrible, horrific school. The problem is sometimes people focus so much on the negative that they don't see all the positives. So what we've tried to do, I think, is that with the podcast and with our social media and with everything that we're putting out there, there's so many more positive things that people are starting to see about the school. So it's starting to change the perception of it. And I think that it takes time. So for every one bad thing that happens, you have to do 10 to 12 things great to kind of just diminish or minimize what people think negatively about it. So we're still working, right? It's still a work in progress, but I think that people do see different. I think when people actually come in and feel the climate, it is very different than what it was 4, 5, 6 years ago. And I think we're in it, not there yet, but I think that we're in a much better place than we were before, and I think we're going to get there.
Yeah, I would agree, because what people said, they were like, oh, you're going to go work at Glasgow? I'm like, you leaving Homecasting to go work at Glasgow? And I'm like, yeah. And when I came here, I'm like, nah, my kids can be here. Like, I don't, because, as parents, I think we all look at it like, what high school is our kids going to go to? What are they going to get into? What are they going to do? But it's all love here.
Right.
It is not, it's not just you, but it's the male role models. A lot of all of you guys, all you male role models that play a part in a lot of these young men's lives. And they may not have their father or their mother at home, and they come to us for information about what they should do, how they should do it. So I really do think that, you play a tremendous role, and so does a lot of, even officers here.
Right.
A lot of the kids, or they go to Corporal Basson and talk to Corporal Basson about stuff. He's like, yo.
Right.
So I think everybody plays a part here. They make grass.
And that's important that you said that. And to your point, you have to have the right people in the building for that to happen. The only way that you change an image or a perception is having the right people. And I think that we have a lot of the right key pieces in here with the staff, with the school climate support, with the deans and the transitions in and out. I think that it's starting to get that right mix that's actually going to make the change that's absolutely necessary.
People that care.
Right. Big thing.
More questions on how did you get to where you are today as a rather than by the principal as personally?
Right.
That's a good question. What motivated? So sometimes you have to be self-motivated. You're not going to always have that person that kind of pushes you. Some people, have their parents. Some people have their grandparents. Some people have that aunt, that uncle. It's all relative to how you've grown up, right? And everybody doesn't have that 2-parent household, which I didn't, and many of you may or may not have that. So you don't have those 2 people that are in your lives, kind of raising you or growing. You have that secondary family that kind of like helps to raise you and kind of get you where you're supposed to be. But what you have to do is really just decide what you want to do. And once you decide, you have to be so determined that it doesn't matter what happens. This is going to happen for me. And kind of like something that you're doing personally for yourself. And I know it's not about you, but you're working on something. And once you decide what you have decided, you just have to continue to do that. Forget what people are going to say, because there's going to be people that are going to say, this is not for you. No, you shouldn't do this. No, it's not going to happen. What are you thinking about? But you have to ignore everything that everybody's talking about and just do it.
Yeah.
And you do have to find one person, whoever that person might be, that you can talk to, that's going to be honest with you, that's going to tell you the truth, that's going to help support you, not in a negative way, but you do have to have somebody to kind of be your quote unquote best friend or your person that you can kind of bounce those things off of. Right. Because you can't do it alone. You can be as determined as you want to do it, but along the way, there's going to have to be somebody who's going to help you. And I'm not saying they have to fund your projects or they don't have to do the work for you, but somebody that's going to be there to kind of support you in a positive way,
right,
and guide you to make sure you get it. So it's like a mentor. You need like a mentor.
Mentors.
Like a mentor. Mm-hmm. And I have 2. Personally, you should have 2. You should have a personal mentor that's going to help you with your personal life, and your professional mentor, whatever it is professionally you want to do. You need to have them separate. They can't be the same person, because everybody doesn't have an expertise in everything. Right. You have to find somebody who does well with something that you're looking forward to doing. And then you have to have somebody who's doing well personally too, that'll kind of help you and guide you through that way as well.
Yeah. So to piggyback off what Rob said, I have 3 family members that graduated from Glasgow. I knew I was coming to Glasgow. I wanted to live in Glasgow. I got accepted into 2 of Texas. I wanted to come here when I got 8th grade. So I didn't handle backlash. Like how did you handle that? How do you handle that?
So it's a good question. So one thing I don't do is I want people to have free choice. That's what everybody has a choice, right? Everybody should have the ability to pick and choose what they want to do. Now, if I'm asked about my school, our school, collectively, then I'm going to promote Glasgow, because we're here. I think we're doing a great job. I think we have a lot of great offerings. Every year we have seniors who graduate or start their own business and go to the military or whatever it is they do, and they do wonderful things. We get millions of dollars of scholarships just like everybody else. We have kids going to college just like everybody else. We have the same percentage of students doing just as much as anybody else. I think that what happens is, to Rob's point and to your point, is that people just get caught up in those negative things. So I quickly will be promoting Glasgow. Everywhere I go, I either have on a Glasgow t-shirt, a Glasgow hat, a Glasgow jacket, or Muhammad Ali, because I'm a Muhammad Ali fan. But if it's not Muhammad Ali or Superman, if it's not Muhammad Ali or Superman, it's Glasgow. And I don't care. Everybody needs to know. They're like, well, what do you do there? I'm like, I'm the principal. And they're like, oh, really? And then I'm like, yeah. And then I go into everything that's positive that's going on with it. So I'm like, I feel like sometimes the poster child or the spokesperson for Glasgow, which I should be. And if everybody does that, then that's quickly a way to make it happen too. So,
right. I mean, you should call yourself Superman. No, seriously, because you do it outside of school too. Like, people don't understand. You help these students outside of school too, and when they're in the building. So when you said that, I didn't want to cut you off, but I had to let you know you are Superman to a lot of these kids.
I feel what you feel.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I'm trying my best.
Any other questions?
Right. Oh, Kyle.
I know the year isn't over yet, but what's like your favorite memory so far this year that happened?
Right.
This year? This year so far, and then I have a surprise for seniors at graduation, which they don't know yet. But anyway, this year so far was the juniors meeting that expectation, and me having to jump into the pool fully clothed. I think was exciting for me, because it was fun, because I just like to do crazy, fun, dumb stuff, But at the same time, they met an expectation that we had, so that was important too, and it was fun to be able to do that. So that was probably one of the most exciting things. And even more exciting was staff jumped on board and did it with me. So it wasn't just me doing it by myself. So they bought into it, they saw it, they got excited, and they made it happen.
I don't have a question, it's more like a statement, but speaking on the memory parts and all that, I can go all the way back from 8th grade where I remember seeing you in the Y and you working out, and then you saw the JV basketball team working out, and you always support everybody. Like, I feel like a lot more people would go to different schools if they had principals like you. I can remember time from 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade year. Like, I feel like if a lot more schools had principals like you, then a lot more people would go to school.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, I just like to be involved, right? And that's the thing about high school. You can be involved in so many different things with so many different people doing so many different things. So absolutely.
Of the sports and all that, I remember, like, in the memory part, the basketball team was like slowly breaking apart, and then you pulled us all together at a pep talk. Then pulled the seniors together and asked the seniors how we could do better. And then after that, I feel like we had went on a good run and won a bunch of games and all that. So I feel like you support every aspect of the school.
Appreciate it. Have to. It's important. Yeah.
So I'm a fan of giving flowers to people while they are here. So we do want to give you these. In support of the Dragon's Den. Your seniors picked them out. And this is the card that goes with that.
Nice.
We also wanted to start a tradition where we give the person that means a lot to us something that they could appreciate. So this award this year goes to you because we believe that you make a difference at Glasgow High School.
Thank you.
So we definitely wanted to give that to you. And we got you some little goodies to go with it and a card.
A whole lot going on here.
Because we really know that you tried to make sure that everybody else is okay, but who thinks about you? So we thought about you, and we thought that this would be a great thing for you. And also having you on here is actually a great thing because you gave us, the permission to do it, and we just honor that. And I personally thank you for allowing me to come in with your students and have fun with them and understand them and learn them and, become their second mom, their aunts, whatever they want to call me. They call me everything else.
Right.
So we definitely appreciate you. So if anybody doesn't say they appreciate you, we do. I do.
Thank you.
We all do. So, guys, thank you for joining us today on the Dragon's Den with our favorite principal, Mr. Ingram. So we are actually going to let him close it out with on the floor.
Nah, we're on par for the win.
Yeah, because today we're not messing it up. He's going to do it today, so we're definitely not going to mess it up. The guy himself. We got the man himself in here. Okay. On par for the win.
You got it. I can't believe I forgot it. I legit forgot. You said it. Oh, there it is. I got it. Every day. Working together towards a common goal, inspiring excellence through academics, athletics, and the arts, and never giving up until that goal is accomplished.
This is the Dragon's Den, and in 2023, we are out. Peace.